I've gotten phone calls like that because I have a public office and because people just feel like that's okay. I've gotten them. A lot of people I know have gotten them. A lot of the Never Trumpers have gotten them. A lot of journalists get them. The Republican Party has normalized this as it's okay. It's okay to just do this. Now, I think some of this is the effect of our internet age where there's, I think you and I talked about this once where at least in the old days where you had to go look up a number or find an address and put a stamp on something, your rational mind or your better nature would intercede for one moment and say, your mother didn't raise you this way. Your grandparents wouldn't be proud of you. I know you're mad. This thought went through your head, but the problem is now that the echo chamber is building in volume because there are now people, as you pointed out, the conscience of the Republican Party, Marjorie Taylor Greene, saying, no, never apologize. Why not threaten people? I mean, Taylor Greene gets right up to the edge of that and doesn't endorse it, but kind of shrugs and says, but, I'd understand, right? I mean, she kind of encourages that environment, which puts her in a pissing match with people like Nancy Mace, with Boebert. Trump was the godfather of all of this with, knock the hell out of him, take him out of here on a stretcher, I'll pay your legal bills. They have normalized this kind of casual culture of threat and menace that surrounds the Republican Party. And just one more comment about this. Yeah. This is the sign of a political movement that is deeply afraid and insecure. This is not how a political movement that believes in itself talks and reacts. This is what happens. Frankly, this is the kind of phone call you make, not when you think you're winning, but when you think you're losing.
Or when you think that all the guardrails are off, all the restraints are off.
And it just makes you feel better.
When you're just feeling it, when you want to be tough and the testosterone is flowing and they've unleashed something. Now, again, this is a math problem for me. I think it's absolutely true that the vast, vast, vast majority, even of MAGA supporters, are not going to engage in political violence. But we're a country of, 300 million people? How many Americans are there?
330.
330. So let's say that 99% of Americans would never engage in political violence, right? Fair enough. Would not even consider it. 1% of Americans is 3.3 million people.
Yep.
1%. If there's just 1% of the country that thinks, I've been told I need to go out and get my gun. I need to fight for freedom. I need to be more like Kyle Rittenhouse, or I need to be more like whatever. The people who are standing by and withstanding all of this stuff. That's 3 million people. It does not take a huge number of people with guns, with knives, with bombs.
And one of the things that strikes me about this, Charlie, is I was talking with Canadian. Of course, Canadians are just like aghast that they find this like culturally incomprehensible. But I was doing a bit with Canadian radio, and I said, these are people that if you said, look, I surrender, I get, you win.
No.
What do you want? They can't answer you.
No, that would be boring.
Because that would be boring. The whole point is the struggle. The whole point is getting off on that phone call and menacing someone, saying, if Omar said, okay, fine, I'm resigning from Congress. You've driven me out of public life. We're turning over the government to the MAGA Republicans. All right, tell me what you want. And I think the answer would be, I hadn't even thought of that. Never got that far. And I think that we saw that with during the 4 years that Trump was president. Okay, you guys are in charge. What do you want to do? Well, I want to put in some left-wing trade protectionism, and I want to put in some right-wing, performative immigration measures, and I want to, piss on NATO, but not really. I mean, there's nothing here except the kind of the primal yawp of my life sucks, and I'm pissed off, and so I'm going to threaten the life of a congressman.